In this case, a Good Samaritan's act of helping a crash victim resulted in his arrest by a police officer, leading to a significant lawsuit settlement. On September 22, 2019, Preston Sal and his companions came across an injured man trapped under a crashed motorcycle in Loveland, California. Mr. Sal and others rushed to assist the victim while emergency services were called. Officer Paul Ash from the Loveland Police Department arrived on the scene and began questioning Mr. Sal about the incident. Although Mr. Sal cooperated and provided information, Officer Ash insisted on further questioning and asked him to step away from the scene. However, Mr. Sal exercised his right to remain silent and refused to speak to Officer Ash as he was not a witness to the incident. Officer Ash, without legal authority, threatened Mr. Sal with arrest for obstruction if he continued to refuse. Under Colorado law, Mr. Sal's actions did not constitute obstruction.
Where is the bike at?
Bike's parked down on the side, yeah, the blue one.
Officer Ash proceeded to forcefully restrain Mr. Sal, leading to physical altercation resulting in severe injuries, including a dislocated shoulder, a fractured collarbone, and a torn rotator cuff. Despite knowing that Mr. Sal had no involvement in moving the motorcycle, Officer Ash still insisted on questioning and arresting him.
Okay, you might come and talk to me?
I don't know what happened.
Well, you pulled the bike off him.
I'm not talking to nobody.
Really?
These guys saw what happened.
Okay, if you're not talking to anybody, you can leave.
Well, you can leave.
No.
You're dismissed.
We
No.
can't leave.
We can't leave. I'm not leaving.
Okay, then come and talk to me.
No, I'm not going to come talk to you.
After the incident, Officer Ash's body camera footage revealed that another bystander had moved the motorcycle.
I'm not going to come talk to you.
Police officer, man.
I know.
Did you
but
pull
I'm
the
not gonna
bike?
come talk
Did
to
you
him.
pull the bike
I'm
off
not going to
him?
come talk to
Okay,
him.
that's
Did you pull the bike off him?
I did not.
Okay.
so
You just told me
It
you
has
did.
nothing to do with me.
Okay, you're free to leave.
You're free to leave.
Confirming Mr. Sal's innocence. Paramedics on the scene examined Mr. Sal and recommended his immediate transfer to the hospital. He later underwent shoulder replacement surgery and experienced persistent pain.
What's his name?
Preston.
Preston what? You got an ID on your boss? I'm gonna need an ID now. Okay. 177. I got an uncooperative witness. Come on over here.
Constitutional right.
I need to talk to you.
Constitutional right. No,
I need to
I don't want to talk to you.
You have to talk
I don't want
to
to talk. No, I don't.
Following the incident, Mr. Sal filed a lawsuit against the officers involved, alleging violations of his constitutional rights. The city of Loveland acknowledged that Officer Ash had violated department policies, but did not disclose any disciplinary actions taken against the officers.
I don't have to talk to anybody.
Okay, either
I
you're
don't
gonna
have to
sit
talk to
here and
anybody.
talk to me,
No,
we'll just have a short
no,
conversation,
No.
or I'm gonna
I
arrest
don't
you
have
for obstruction.
No, you're not. I'm not obstructing
You
anything. You're right here.
Okay.
I'm not obstructing that.
Sir, yourself, you need to talk to me.
I don't
You're
need to talk.
obstructing an investigation.
I'm not obstructing
You are
anything.
under arrest for obstruction.
I'm
and
not
for
obstructing.
resisting.
I want to talk to your fucking supervisor.
Here.
Yeah.
I need statements from the guy in the blue plaid shirt,
Okay.
the guy in the black Eagles thing.
Okay.
He was the one who moved his bike over there, or was moving
And
it.
the Eagles jersey moved it over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ambulance ain't taking me?
Nope. Since you're in custody, you're gonna go with me. Okay.
Well, I don't know why I'm in custody,
Well,
but
So here's what we're gonna do. Okay.
it is, I'm not
Okay. Perfect. So let me explain to you what we're gonna do. Okay.
My shoulder's fucked up. There's that slammed in the ground. That's all I know.
So let me explain to you what we're gonna do. Okay.
My shoulder's fucked up. There's that slammed in the ground. That's all I know.
In January 2021, Mr. Al's excessive force lawsuit was settled for $290,000. However, no recorded action was reported against the officers involved, and the city stated that the settlement did not imply an admission of guilt. This case highlights the unjust arrest and excessive force used against an innocent individual who was simply trying to help a crash victim. Despite the lawsuit settlement, questions remain regarding the accountability and disciplinary measures for the officers involved in the incident. Now let's move on to our next case. In this case, a man was arrested for wearing his motorcycle helmet inside a Walmart store, leading to a subsequent lawsuit. On August 6, 2019, Freedom Christopher Fandler rode his motorcycle to a Walmart in Sahuarita, Arizona. He entered the store without removing his helmet and was listening to music through wireless headphones. A store manager attempted to get his attention but failed. The manager then called 911, considering Mr. Fandler's behavior suspicious. Meanwhile, Mr. Fandler continued shopping and was approached by 3 officers from the Sahuarita Police Department. They demanded his ID without explaining the situation. Initially, Mr. Fandler didn't respond due to his earphones, but he eventually complied. He provided his ID and asked the officers what was happening. The officers claimed that the store manager had asked Mr. Fandler to remove his helmet, which he allegedly ignored. Mr. Fandler explained he kept his helmet on for convenience and provided proof of his purchases with a receipt. While reviewing CCTV footage, it became evident that the store's manager claims were inaccurate. He had approached Mr. Fandler only twice and from a distance, contradicting his earlier assertions.
Hey, bud, you got some ID on you? Hold on, man. You have some ID on you?
Nevertheless, Officer John George confronted Mr. Fandler in an unnecessary aggressive manner, threatening him and violating his First Amendment right to free speech.
Yeah, man, you've been asking you to take your helmet off while you're walking around in the store and you're just ignoring him. What are you talking about, man?
Dude, do me a favor, take your helmet off. You're not going to speak with us with your helmet on.
Okay. Let's take your helmet off.
Sorry? Would you make a purchase?
I promise. Everything, man. Yeah.
Mr. Fandler chose to remain silent after Officer George's behavior.
So he said that he had music playing in his helmet.
I'm right up there right now. Stood right there.
Okay. So did you see the manager basically walk up right to your face and ask you to take off your helmet? How did you not see that?
I saw him talking, but he's got a headset on.
Standing right next to you. Right next to you. I came up and I said, sir.
I thought you were going this way. I didn't hear you.
I said, stop. I followed you halfway throughout the store. Stop.
Let me ask you something. What's the purpose of keeping the helmet on?
It's just faster to get to work, man. Like I said, I'm on my way to work.
Where do you work at?
Work at Jim Clay. Right
Okay.
there.
So you walked through the store, what'd you buy?
I bought a sandwich, a Gatorade, 2 peaches, a scrubber, 4 pens, and a toothbrush.
Despite his silence, the officers and store manager continued questioning Mr. Fandler. Eventually, the officers arrested him for disorderly conduct, and he was detained for over 17 hours before the charges were dropped.
So you keep the helmet on, you walk around,
Yeah, I do that
grab
at
all
the
this
Safeway,
stuff.
I go to the other Safeway, I go to Fry's. Except for when I go to the bank, I've never had any issues where I was like, take it off, or a sign saying that you need to have it off. And like I said,
That's why the manager asked you to take it off.
like I said, I didn't hear him. I had music playing through.
You didn't see me standing right in front of you.
I saw you there, and then I saw you talk, but like again, you have a headset on, so
I can't put my hands on you to get your attention. I'm standing right next to you.
I didn't.
Just like I'm standing
I
here with
didn't
the
see
officer.
you come next to me.
Stood right in front of you, just like I'm standing here. I said, I need you to stop and listen to me. You told me in order to be kept walking.
Mr. Fandler filed a lawsuit against the Sahuarita Police Department, alleging illegal search, false arrest, malicious prosecution, and defamation. Initially, Mr. Fandler offered to settle the case for $250,000, which was rejected.
Stop this now, okay? You're an argumentative person, and I'm not the person you want to argue with. You need to take
Go ahead.
and you need to go like this and pull your head out of your ass, okay? Because you're walking around in a store hiding your face. There's shooters that go on all over the place. This man comes up to you, and you want to play. You got a little Senna headpiece going on that you can't stop. You need to listen to learn, not listen to reply. You need to turn that little switch off in your brain that you want to run your mouth and argue every time somebody tells you something. Because this is disturbing the peace. You can go to jail and not go to work. So what's the choice you're going to make, hardhead?
The town of Sahuarita and the police department denied any wrongdoing and planned to dismiss the lawsuit.
You're going to quit walking around businesses with a helmet on, scaring the hell out of people to where you got massive cops all over the place, rifles outside waiting for a shooter to come out? Laugh. But that's where we're at. So pull your head out of your ass and quit arguing every time somebody tells you something. I'm telling you, look at what you're doing. You keep wanting to argue with me. I'm not the guy you want to argue with.
I wasn't trying to argue.
That's why you keep talking. Stop talking.
Okay, fine.
Officer George was later fired for unrelated reasons. However, Mr. Fandler's attorney refiled the lawsuit, aiming to obtain justice and rectify this practice.
I'll just see if you want to trespass. Okay, so officially being trespassed from the store, don't come back to Walmart. Come back to Walmart, manager, anyone sees you, you get arrested for that. How many times did you ask him to leave?
It's like he's ignoring you. I walked half the store with him, following him right to the side to ask him. I told him many times that officers were coming out. They would just get one.
I would say so.
store and you didn't want to
Want me to
cooperate.
take my jacket off?
Nope, I want you to leave your jacket on.
Right there, please.
As of the present, the outcome of the lawsuit is still pending. The case highlights the infringement of Mr. Fandler's rights and the potential consequences of false arrest based on misunderstandings.
It was a special day in Tamarack, Florida, as the deputy sheriffs were being honored for their service throughout the year. This was celebrated in their routine city council ceremony, where all the officers were present. The day went exactly as planned. When it was time to announce Deputy of the Month, Joshua Gallardo was awarded with the title and was extremely proud and delighted with his achievement. However, things took an unexpected turn when a young man asked Joshua to come back on the stage with his microphone for a minute. Why did he do so? Baffled at this, everyone remained confused at what's happening. Turns out that the guy was none other than the city commissioner, Mike Gillen. He pointed out an incident that took place between himself and Joshua in 2015. Joshua was called to break up a fight. The commissioner, who had not been elected yet, was videotaping the incident just to collect some proof. But Joshua, in turn, accused Mike of resisting arrest by the officer. The matter didn't escalate, as the charges were quickly dropped when the video proposed that Mike indeed did nothing wrong. Nonetheless, Mike did not appreciate Joshua's actions and brought it up on stage while he was awarded with the prestigious award. He even mentioned that Joshua did not deserve the award and that he wasn't worthy of his position. This was followed by a funny thumbs up by Joshua, who looked like he couldn't care any less. The mayor backed Joshua up and announced that the department was indeed proud and appreciated the efforts of the sheriffs, which felt like a slap on the face for Mike. When questioned about the incident, Mike does agree that he could have reacted to the situation better. I was profoundly affected by my wrongful arrest. I had a flashback and a flood of emotions came back to me at the meeting, and so I spoke up. He said, but we bet Joshua regretted falsely accusing Mike that day. He probably regretted winning the award on that particular day even more, because this video was embarrassing to get through. Number 2, Jamie Kimball mystery. It is an officer's duty to serve his nation and arrest criminals who have broken the law. But what would you do if the suspect claims to be innocent? The second story on our list is filled with twists and turns. Jamie Kimball says she and her friend were out for a chill evening running errands and grabbing groceries with her 2 older children when she was accused of a criminal offense. The Fairfax County Police hit her moving car at 10 miles per hour. Shook by the incident, Kimball was just trying to figure out what just happened. The Fairfax County Police were just performing their duty when they attempted to stop a felony vehicle along Richmond Highway. Jamie Kimball and her 2 kids, who were in the backseat of the car, were approached with guns from these officers, who claimed that the young mom had performed criminal activity a few days prior. Kimball, who was terrified about her own safety and that of her kids, kept denying these accusations, but the cops remained certain about their claims. But here is where things get interesting. When the date of the criminal activity that was accused on Kimball was revealed, a shocking new discovery was made, which changed the face of the case. It was uncovered that the exact same date of the crime scene turned out to be the same day when Kimball was in the hospital having her newborn. How could that even be possible? Did the officers falsely accuse Kimball? Well, not completely. Further investigation suggested that the officers convicted Kimball not due to her identity, but rather because of her car. The case got less complicated when Kimball indicated that the title of the car was only recently transferred into her name. Her new ownership had not yet been updated with the Department of Motor Vehicles properly, and hence the officers who found the car earlier in a criminal case believed the suspect to be driving the car yet again. Kimball pointed out that she didn't receive any alert to pull over. No lights, no siren, no anything. And everything happened so quickly. All I knew at that point that I was in pain. I wanted to know that my babies were okay in their back, and I didn't know why the hell I was being stopped. "Oh," said Kimball. She expected a thorough apology from the Fairfax County Police for the traumatizing event that took place. It's not something that can be taken back. We didn't receive an apology for how we were treated, specifically my children. My daughter's 5 years old and my son is 1. I don't feel like they should have had to experience or witness something like that. We do think Kimball deserves an apology for the damages induced, and we are certain that Fairfax County regretted the way they were hasty while accusing Kimball. Finally, for our top story in today's video, we have this awful incident by Officer Hernandez from Miami. The Miami police officer received immense backlash when the video of him slamming a handcuffed woman on the ground from the car went viral. The officer was captured grabbing a lady by her neck and dragging her out of the back seat of the car and subsequently slamming her on the floor. That's no way to treat a human. The suspect, who was a young woman in her early 20s, was exceptionally injured and laid unconscious in the ground for 15 minutes due to the officer's rage. The rough arrest was, ironically enough, caught in camera by the body cam that Officer Hernandez had on him while he was on duty. Talk about karma. The arrest was based on accusations of vandalism on the woman. As soon as she was cuffed and seated in the back seat of the police vehicle, the lady started disobeying the officers and started spitting on the argument. One thing led to the other, and before you knew it, Officer Hernandez had her slammed on the floor. The rough arrest went through an investigation panel where it was unanimously decided that Officer Hernandez no longer be part of the Miami Police Department. His actions were severely punished, and rightfully so. The paramedics were quickly brought to the scene, and they scrutinized the officer's actions. However, Hernandez kept defending himself and his violent action. The case, after review by the prosecutors and civilians panel, was put under the claims of police conduct, which resulted in Hernandez's resignation. The suspect's father was interviewed about the incident and questioned about how his daughter was doing. Despite not wanting to go on camera, he revealed that he was very much upset with the incident. He added that the happening has taken a huge toll on his daughter and that it would take a long time for her to get over the physical and emotional trauma that was caused to her. We hope the suspect and her family find hope and courage to get over this incident. And we are more than certain that Officer Hernandez would never treat another woman the way he did ever.
November 13, 2020, Trooper Jackson Little of the Arkansas State Police conducted a traffic stop on a person who only identified himself as James. Little suspected that James was speeding. There is relatively little evidence regarding this interaction, and it cannot conclusively confirm James's identity. So let's watch the video further and see what happens.
Down all the way, man.
Why is that?
Roll down all the way so I can talk to you better.
We can talk, right? I mean,
Roll it down all the way. I'll ask you and tell you.
what law is that?
Why are you starting this, man?
The trooper advises the man to roll down all the way so he can talk to him better. But the man swears that he can talk with it all the way down. There's no law according to him, and if so, please tell him.
Yes, I'm not.
We can talk.
I'm not trying to be rude to you, anything like that.
I'm really not trying to be rude to you either, but
So what's the deal? Why don't you want to roll it down all the way?
Because I don't
Why
have
don't you
to.
want to?
I
You just trying to be difficult?
I'm not trying to be difficult. Do you want my license and registration?
Yeah, if you don't care.
The trooper tells him that he's not trained to be rude to anyone, to which the man responds he's not trained to be rude to anyone. But the trooper replies, so what's the deal? Why don't you want to roll it down? The man then responds, I don't want to. I'm not trying to be difficult. Do you want my license registration?
What's the reason for stopping me? If you
First
don't-
off, okay, I'm Trooper Jackson Little with the Arkansas State Police, okay?
I appreciate that.
I'm pulling you over for speeding. You know how fast you're going?
I do.
How fast are you going?
I'm not going to answer that question.
Okay, I got you going 87 into 65, man. That's a little quick.
The man asked the trooper what the reason is for stopping him. The trooper then responded by saying, I'm going to pull you over for speeding. Are you aware of how fast you are going? The man then responds by saying he's not going to answer that question in any way.
I got this dash cam here,
Yeah.
and it records my speed.
Okay, how fast did you say you're going?
I'm not going to answer that question, but
Okay.
I know it wasn't that. This is
Okay.
registration,
How fast did you say you
insurance.
were going?
I'm not going to answer that.
Okay.
I'm really not trying to be difficult with you, sir.
So what's the deal then?
The man then replies he got a dash cam here that records his speed and he is not going to answer at what speed he is going. Next, he gives his registration to the trooper.
Well, what deal?
Like why are you just being so defensive and argumentative?
With what?
Everything I'm saying.
Well, I don't
First off,
believe.
not being cooperative by rolling the window down. It's not a huge deal. I'd like to talk to you better, you know. Instead of
I think that we're talking fine, though, aren't we?
The trooper asks him if he's not being rude, then why is he being defensive and argumentative? What's the deal?
With you, but
Okay.
let's start over.
Okay.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
My name's James. You have my
Nice
ID
to meet
here.
you, man.
And I just don't. The reason for the window, I'm not trying to be defensive or
Yeah, yeah,
argumentative or anything.
Yeah.
I just don't like to have it all the way down.
Why's that?
I just don't.
Why is that, man?
I just don't. you know?
Okay. Everyone's different, I guess.
Everyone is a little different, yeah.
Yeah.
You like it down, I don't, you know.
Okay.
The man says, how about we start over? I don't want to fight with you, so let's put that aside from now. Can we try again? I'm James and this is my ID. The trooper then asked him, I noticed that you like to keep the windows partly open. I'm curious why that is. The man answered again, please understand that I'm not trying to defend myself or argue with you. I just want to see things from your point of view. I'm not trying to be rude or anything. I just don't feel good with the window all the way down. The trooper asked the man if he thought he was going too fast. The man says that he doesn't want to talk about it and uses his right to stay quiet under the Fifth Amendment.
I don't think it's a huge deal. It's not. Something, you know, if you don't think you're going that fast, something could be wrong with your car or something, man. You know, you never know that. 2021. Nothing like that, man. I'm not trying to be rude either. I know you're being nice now, so I appreciate that. Well, I feel like I've been nice.
The cop again tries to use his right, saying you never know, even if you don't think you're going that fast, something could be wrong with your car or something. The man says, it's 2021. It's nothing like that, and I'm not trying to be rude.
Sure. Okay. Those little things can mean a lot sometimes, man. For all you know, you could be trying to hide something, anything like that. So those are just little clues. I'm not saying you are. Not accusing. Well, we're just operating within the bounds of the law right now, aren't we? Are we just operating within the bounds of the law right now? We are. Then, but those are just little clues, man. I mean, it's
The officer gets cranky and says little things matter to me a lot sometimes. Man, for all you know, you could be trying to hide anything or something along those lines.
And you don't have the legal grounds to tell me to roll my window all the way down. That's the only thing. That was a lie. A lie? Yeah, it's not a lie.
The man then asks if they're simply operating within the law, to which the trooper replies they are. The man says it's just a little strange that you're demanding I do something you said you're not asking, you're telling me, and you don't have the legal grounds to tell me to roll my window all the way down. That's the only thing that was a lie.
All the way down. But like I said, it's speeding, man. It's not a huge deal. And I understand that, and that's why I feel like we got off on the wrong foot, because you were telling me to do something that I don't have to.
The trooper's just on the stubbornness of why he's not rolling his window down, and the man says it's not the law to roll it down, so he's not going to.
I don't think you violated anything right now. Okay, yeah. Good deal. No, I think we have a disagreement on what the law says on the window. What's the deal, man, honestly? Like, what? Well, there's zero deal.
Trooper continues to ask the man why he won't roll it down all the way, and in many cases interprets the man's unwillingness to assist the inquiry as animosity. Refusing to cooperate with an officer's inquiry does not constitute reasonable suspicion of criminal behavior.
I don't know. I'm just curious of why you're so stuck on it. It just blows my mind. Like, why can't you just roll it down all the way, man? Like, what's? It blows my mind that you can't let it go. I thought we moved past this. It's just a little funny to me, man. Behind the whole cop thing, I'm just kind of curious why you won't do it. I just don't.
This time, the man gets annoyed and says, I'm just curious as to why you're so fixated on it. It just blows my mind. You can't let it go. I thought we'd moved on. But then the trooper responds, it's just kind of funny to me, man. I'm just behind the whole cop thing. I'm just kind of curious.
Did I hurt you or anything like that? I fully believe that, but I'm allowed to have my defenses up, right? Do you believe I'm going to hurt you? Well, I don't. But you got your defenses up, right? Yeah. It's just a natural All the stuff thing. Going on, I guess. It's sure, yeah.
This time, the man explains, well, I guess so. A man with a gun walks up to my car. I'm not happy that my defense is strong. Do you think I'm going to hurt you? I don't, but you've got your guard up, so it's only natural.
But I appreciate that. Yeah, I have my ways I got to do things. Yeah. I was just saying, behind the whole cop thing, I was just kind of curious why you didn't want to go, like, behind the whole...
At last, the cop agrees with what the man is saying and says everyone is different. The officer says that his records are clear, but it's a warning, so he still wants to know at what speed he was driving.
Hang tight here, okay? Sure. Put your stuff back, man. Here's what we're doing, okay? All right. Your records look pretty dang good. I didn't see a speeding warning or ticket on there, okay? Okay. On you out for the warning, okay? I really don't think you're going that fast, but...
Even when the trooper provides him a warning and promises him he'll not write him a ticket, the man continues to refuse to answer questions.
Going that fast. How fast? If we're beyond that, how fast was it? I really can't answer that question. Well, I'm not writing you a ticket, man. It's a warning, so I'm just curious what it says. I understand. But there's a formality that's got to take place there. What do you mean formality? My right to remain silent on things. I'm not going to walk back there and rewrite a ticket, man. I can promise you that. I'm just curious. I can promise I won't answer the question. You have my word. I'm not going to do that. I promise you. That's on my camera.
Nothing, however, would legally preclude the trooper from changing his mind and issuing a penalty after the warning was issued. After the additional warning, the man's protection against self-incrimination was preserved. If James confesses to speeding, the police could collect his dash cam footage and use it against him in court if they secure a warrant for the digital data.
Hey, man, what's your name again? My name's James. Okay, nice to meet you, man. I'm Jackson. Too. Nice to meet you. You too. What was your badge number? 587. 587. Is any of that going to be on the... Oh, let's see. It should be. Yeah, name's right there. Badge number's right there, okay? Perfect, man. But yeah, besides that, man,
James was completely within his rights to continue to refusing answer questions due to the risk of self-incrimination and the dashcam video being utilized as evidence against him. James left the scene without incident after receiving his warning and requesting the trooper's badge number. On the same day as the incident, James posted the dashcam video on his YouTube account, although it is unknown whether he took any more action. Overall, the trooper receives a grade of B- because despite maintaining a pleasant demeanor, he gave James orders that were questionable from a legal standpoint and persisted in pressuring him to give up his right to stay silent.